to another video, and today it is that time of the week where I will be doing ASMR OMG Mondays, where I read or tell you guys stories from Reddit. But actually today I am not going to be reading stories from Reddit. I am going to be telling you guys my own stories. So it is now the holiday season. Halloween is unfortunately over, and now Christmas is in full swing. And retail workers are going to be going through it for the next couple of months, all the way up to middle January. But I wanted to tell you guys some of my work stories. Because it's been almost 3 months since I've been working at Kohl's, and I wanted to tell you guys some of the stories that I've accumulated. I've done a work stories video before where I've told you guys stories from Reddit and stuff about retail and stuff, but I want to tell you guys some of my stories that I've accumulated. So this OMG Mondays, I'll be doing a dedicated video to some of my work stories, not all of them, because I don't have a lot, but I have a couple that I can fit into one video. So yeah, so let's get started with the stories. So sit back, relax, get yourself a drink, get yourself nice and comfortable while I tell you guys some of my Kohl's work stories. So let's get started. I've said that a bunch of times, but yeah. Also, before I get started, quick full thing. I apologize that I did not upload on Friday. I told you guys in my Let's Discuss Being Sick video that I may not upload Friday, and 2 things came with that. I was still kind of not feeling good that day. I'm still even now I'm still a little phlegmy, but I'm doing perfectly fine now. And also for people who are actually watching the videos, I'm doing my laundry, so if you see that my bed doesn't have any bed sheets, I'm doing my laundry. So yeah, now let's finally get started with the stories. So the title of this one, I like the title, Lady Liberty. So this happened not too long ago. This happened this past Friday, and I think it was Veterans Day that day. Wait, no, this actually happened this past Thursday, the day before Veterans Day, I believe. And I was working registers. It was my first day ever being scheduled on registers, besides when I did my training. So I was excited, and overall the day went really well. But besides that, I was just sitting at the registers, doing stuff, cleaning my area, and I had this mom and daughter come in. The daughter was very she looked about 12, and she was just she had very 12-year-old energy, joking around with her mom and stuff. And she came up saying "Ooh, I'm spending all my mom's money" and stuff like that. Or I was I'm draining my mom's money or something like that. And it was very jokey and stuff. And this girl was your normal tween girl, but she had this weird looking tan, I don't know, but she was also wearing a deconstructed American flag t-shirt that you would get at Ross or Marshall's. And I thought nothing of it, but the girl was joking around and stuff. And when the mom was done, I was done scanning everything, she was "Oh wait," and she was looking at the total, and she was "Ooh, don't tell my mom." And the mom said, "Liberty, stop it." And that it didn't shock me. I didn't make a reaction, but I was this girl's wearing an American flag shirt, and her name is Liberty. I thought that was a little funny coincidence, but once everyone once everything was done, I checked her out, I did all the things, and the funniest thing, before these two left and I said, have a good night, the girl said, Happy Veterans Day. So I was like, feels like an American Child written by a European person, because this girl had an American flag t-shirt. Her name was Liberty, and she said Happy Veterans Day. And I'm like, who says Happy Veterans Day besides maybe her? I guess maybe because like she has like veteran family members, but I don't know, I thought that was like a little like funny and stuff. And I was just like, it was a weird, like, it's weird coincidental parallels that I was just like, I thought it was pretty funny. Because it felt like very stereotypically American. And like, you know, those like people who are like so American that they name their kids very American names, like Liberty, or name their kid after a state. Like, I know a high schooler I did makeup for recently, whose name was California. Or people who name their kids just America. Like, I knew a couple of Americas in my time, but they were all Mexican for some reason. Why? And I'm like, it's very that like patriotic, like immigrant type of thing. It's like, I want to show how patriotic I am, and I'm gonna name my daughter America. And I'm just like, okay, but yeah, I thought that was like pretty funny. All right, this next one is entitled Fast Car. So this one happened like last month. I was doing self-checkout and I was like helping this lady, and like one thing is like some like especially older people, so for the self-checkout, it like each side, it's like one hallway with a bunch of like registers for self-checkout, and it has two little walls. They're like pretty short, but like it kind of is just like separation partitions for the self-checkout. And some older people would like stand behind it and treat it like a regular register. So this is what this like older lady did. And like I was like, just helping her. Like straight out of the gate, she asked me, "Oh, do you own a car? Do you own an EV?" And I was like, "What's an EV?" And she was like, "An electric vehicle." And I was like, "No." And I was just like going through, I was like, and on this hallway, I was like, "Oh, well, I don't really like electric vehicles because I don't feel like they're tested enough, and like I don't feel like we understand their power enough, and like blah blah blah." And it's like, I like regular cars more, but like my husband, like I always talk to my husband. It's like, I like regular cars, and my husband likes electric vehicles, and like I always talked about when our son got an electric vehicle. And I always tell him, like, I don't feel safe in those cars because I feel like they go too fast, or like I feel like they don't get tested enough. Just spouting on and on and on about how much she doesn't like electric vehicles. I was just like, yeah. And she like, I was just trying to ask her like all the like stuff I was trying to do to get her out of here, but she was not listening. I was like, "Oh, can I get your card?" She was like, "Oh," and then she gave me her card, and she just kept going on and on and on about freaking electric vehicles. And then, like, I gave her all her stuff, and she was just like, "Well, yeah." And she was like, "Well, I just don't really trust them. I feel like they need to be tested more, or I don't really feel like they should exist," and stuff like that. And I'm like, "Okay, thank you for coming, and have a good day." And she left. Because I was so dumbfounded, because this person basically, like, not really trauma-dumped, but like this person just like autism, disgust, freaking, like or ADHD. It's just like, it reminds me of like whenever I discuss something with someone, like this lady unprovoked just like ranted to me about how much she doesn't like electric cars, and I'm like, this lady to leave. And it was just like, it was crazy because like, this lady was speaking so fast and I could not like get anything in because like, I have a hard time trying like to like when I don't like interrupting people. And I was like, I just wanted to get this lady to leave and I was trying to like get her to like do all the stuff for self-checkout, and she was like basically also treating it like like a regular register. And I was just like, I should have just said, no, I don't own a car, I don't have a license at all, I just take the bus. I should have said that so she could like not say anything, but I couldn't really say anything. Sorry, my throat is a little funny. So yeah. But now it's time for the final story of the day, and I like to call this the Shoe Man. So I was working returns and customer service. They've had me to register customer service and like customer service just returns and stuff like that, and self-checkout. But self-checkout's like the main thing, but sometimes I do customer service. And let me set like what this person looked like. This person, he was like old, like kind of old, like maybe it's like 60s. He had like a long, straggly, like gray beard. Like it was full, but it was like straggly, like kind of like witchy. He had like a mustache into a beard, and it was kind of like gray and straggly, but full. And he was wearing like a kind of dirty white t-shirt, shorts, and tennis shoes with long socks and a hat, like a baseball hat. And I saw him go to the bathroom, and I thought nothing, because I was like, oh, I probably don't have to deal with him. But then later he came up to me, and I don't know, like I'm also feeling, did I tell this story before? But I'll let you guys know. Let me know if I did, but I feel like this story just needs repeating. This guy came up and he like asked me like, oh, I would like to do an exchange. And he came up with like another box of shoes, and it was just like a box of Nike tennis shoes. And I was like, okay, do you have the item that you want to exchange? And he was like, well, I'm wearing them. You heard that right? He was wearing the shoes that he wanted to exchange. And I was like, oh, okay, so the box of shoes he had for me was like, he wanted to exchange the ones he was wearing were the ones that he had in the box with him that he got. And I was like, oh, well, do you have the box or he had the receipt, but he didn't have the box with the shoes. And I was like, well, do you have the box with the other shoes? And he was like, well, it's my car, should I go get it? And I was like, yeah, for the exchange you have to do it. And he left. And then I was like talking to my coworker who was also there. I was like, so I just had this guy who wanted to exchange shoes, and he told me he was wearing the shoes he wanted to exchange. And when I saw the shoes and I was looking at the shoes, they were the same exact shoes. So I was like, good, it was the same exact shoes that he wanted to wear, so we didn't have to deal with them anymore after that. And she was like, yeah, you would just have to damage them. And I'm like, do you get this often? I was thinking in my head, like, do these people get this often? And then the guy came back, he was like, okay, here it is. And he was like talking to me. I was like, yeah, I gotta go to court, and the right shoe always squeaks, and I don't want to go to court with the squeaky shoe. And I'm like, okay. And just like trying to get this guy done. And he was like, well, do you want me to take off the shoes? And I was like, yeah. And he took off the shoes. he went too high in a section and put the shoes on and left. Like I saw him leave the customer service with just his socks on. And he went to a section. It was the little girl section, I know that. And he like put the shoes on and left. And I was like, this guy did something. And I feel like I don't want to say what it is, but I feel like he's done something that would put you on a certain list, if you know what I mean. But don't say what I mean in the comments, because I feel like if you know what you know, if you know, you know. But yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, those are all the stories that I have for you guys today. So what do you guys think? Like, crazy, right? But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if I like Instagram done, please do. And tell me in the comments, do you have any crazy work stories from when you were like working retail or even food service or like Black Friday and all that stuff? Because Black Friday's coming up, and maybe I'll do a video where I talk about Black Friday if anything happens that day. Because Thanksgiving week, I'm working that entire week. So I'll let you guys know, and maybe I'll do a part 2 to my work stories video if anything happens that week. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you guys have a nice and safe day. Bye.